Hello, 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 everyone. It's Dr. Tamara Beckford, and welcome to Inside the EntreMD Business School podcast. Alrighty, we have a phenomenal doc that's on here today. I cannot wait for you guys to get to know all that he does and all about his business. Alrighty, go ahead, Dr. Foley. I'm going to have you take it away. Let us know about your business, where you're located, and all about what's going on in your world.
Yeah, so thank you for having me on, Dr. Beckford. So my name is Folusho Tugbiyele is my real name, but I go by Dr. Foley, and that's a nickname that I've had. There's a whole long story about that, but it happens to match what I do because I am a urogynecologist and I'm an employed physician, surgeon, urogynecologist. So I'm an entrepreneur and
Mhm.
I practice in Metro Atlanta. Yeah, I'm glad to be
All
on.
right.
Thank you.
So thank you for having you jump on the show. I really can't wait for us to really dive in because a lot of the times that people are hearing about the business school, some people think that, okay, well, really this is only with entrepreneurs, but we want to
Yeah,
let you know that entrepreneurs are also here too. And there's so much because we talk about the brand, right? So the
absolutely.
entrepreneurs really leveraging their brand. So talk about what are some of the biggest tangible wins that you've had within your business, which is your brand, within the
Absolutely.
last 12 months since being part of the business school.
Yeah, so since being a part of the business school, and this is my second year in the business school,
Whoop,
so
whoop.
this has been a benefit to me. So I would just say the three top tangible wins
Mhm,
is I was able to, because of building value within my organization and
mhm.
leveraging my brand, I was able to negotiate going from working 5 full days to 4 days. And
Wow.
so that has left me one day as my CEO day, my brand building day,
Mhm.
to work on developing social media visibility, maybe visiting with referring doctors. Let's see here, all the things that go into my building my brand, building my email list, building my podcast. Excuse me, getting podcasts or building my HQ YouTube. That's a day that I
Mhm.
can work on that. So I'm not working in my business or in my practice. I'm working on my business, which is on me.
Love it, love it.
So that's one
You've had
thing.
like some big wins too.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
go ahead and tell us like some more of those. Those are great intangible wins. Like you got that extra day. Like, a lot of people like you're there working and you're thinking, well, why, entrepreneurship or entrepreneurship? Yeah, what is that really going to bring me? But you've been able to leverage that to get
Absolutely.
that extra day. And
Oh,
while you have the
absolutely.
extra day, so people are thinking like, okay, so that means you're working less. So that means you're bringing in less, right?
That's a good question. Yeah, that's a good point you make. But no, I mean, with what's the word, collapsing my work into four
Mhm.
days, it actually made me more productive, more focused, and
Mm.
so I was actually more productive. I earned more RVUs in 4 days than I did in 5 days, and with
Wow.
that, my income grew, and
Mhm.
so above my salary base, I was able to achieve a six-figure productivity bonus at the end of the
Mm.
fiscal year because I was more productive. So it's a win-win. I had the extra day.
Wow.
I'm more productive. I'm bringing have a greater, maximize income, greater income in a year. It's fantastic. And so, no, I
Wow.
did not see a drop in my income just because I went to from 5 days to 4 days. And another important point is that was
Mhm.
part of the negotiation because there's some rather than a situation where, okay, if I'm going to work 4 days, I make less, right? That's you go
Mhm.
from a full-time 1.0 FTE to a zero point 0.8 FTE. So
Mhm.
some docs may experience maybe having to think about going making less. No, I made this. I was able to negotiate that I made the same amount of money, or my
Mm.
salary stayed the same. My work
Mhm.
hours in 4 days stayed the same. So I was not like I was working 10 or 12 hours in those 4 days, but I was
Mhm.
able to still generate more income and
Wow.
higher productivity because I was able to negotiate for all those things. So it's a win-win for it was a win for my organization, a win for me. It was awesome.
Mhm. Wow. Oh my goodness. So you built the brand, you showed your value, and then
Yeah,
you're able
exactly.
to reduce the amount of days that you work,
Right.
which you found that increased your productivity
Correct.
anyway.
Focus
So
and yeah,
so your salary was the same, but then your bonus ended up being like a six-figure bonus. So you
correct.
brought
Yes.
home more and you had more time for you to
Absolutely.
continue building this brand that you're building.
It
Because
was
like,
awesome.
was it just me or weren't you like top Atlanta doc? You had like a magazine
Yeah, Yeah,
brand.
yeah,
But this is
yeah.
like when we're talking about building a brand, I mean, like
It's
you are out there and people are getting to know you, right?
Absolutely. It's been, and before joining the business school, I
Mhm.
wasn't, I thought brands were just logos, colors, and products
Yes.
that you see on TV. And so thinking of me as a brand, thinking of me as a CEO of my business, which is me incorporated, as we like to, say in the business school, it just
Hmm.
really opened the world to me. It was really eye-opening. And I really was fascinated by that. And so
Hmm.
building myself and developing myself has been really, it's been just such a fun experience. And fun is the only
Hmm.
way I can think about it, but it's so I think about myself, my workday, my
Hmm.
business differently, and
Hmm.
my value. And in fact, in building my brand, people, my wait list to see me in the office is like 2 to 3 months. There's a good side and a bad side to that. I don't want to wait. I don't want my patients to wait too long to see me. But the
Hmm.
point is that they're waiting to see me
Hmm.
versus maybe seeing my colleague who they
Hmm.
could see in a week or two. They're choosing to see me 2 or 3 months
Right.
later. I mean, that just goes to
Because
show
you've
my brand. So there's a
solidified that
pull.
brand.
And so they rather wait to see me because they want to see me versus see someone sooner, even though it's more
Hmm.
convenient. So I've seen the power of that, even as an entrepreneur, building a brand and
Hmm.
gaining that, maximizing your value that you can leverage and start to ask for things that
Right.
from your organization. So yeah, that negotiation power.
Wow. So now you've built like you said, that solid brand. You've
Mhm.
seen this. So we've talked about the tangible, but what were some of these intangible wins that you've also noticed within these last 12 months of being in the business school?
Absolutely. I mean, the first of all is that with that extra day, the intangible is that I get to I had got now had this day to think,
Mm,
to plan the future. How do what was the vision for what I want where I want my career to go? What are some of the
mm-hmm,
options that I want to start to pursue? Because when you're working day, every day full time, you don't have time to think. In the weekends, you're trying to catch up, and so I just had that day to
wow.
think and to do my EBS homework and all the things that I want to do and I wanted
Mm-hmm,
to do and to grow and to
mm-hmm,
learn. And so
mm-hmm.
those are some of the intentional, the work-life balance, I guess is what I'm saying. So I had
Working.
time for my
Mm-hmm,
business. I had time for, for my work. I had time to work on my business, me. And then I had time for my family. Saturdays
mm-hmm.
became days where I spent, those are like the family days. So I spend time with my kids. I take my kids on dates and we spend time. And then Saturday nights, that's my wife. So that's our date
Mm-hmm.
night. So everything fell into place. So those are some of the work-life balance was key. And it kind of being in the business school has really upgraded my identity, like who I
Mm,
am, what I, I'm not just a doc, it's
right.
really helped me see it's really helped me see the value in me. And sometimes that gets lost for entrepreneurs or employee
Yes.
doctors, right? That
Mm-hmm,
value gets chipped away, and it's
mm-hmm,
all about the organization but you forget that you're the one who's really bringing value, and so
mm-hmm.
rather than feeling devalued, and that's where the burnout comes from, I
Yes.
felt empowered
Ooh, wow.
and not at the
So,
mercy, because I have this
yes.
value in this brand. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
so building the brand is really more than just like, you get a good, like, the financial return, but like you're saying that the value that you feel within yourself,
Hmm.
the value that you feel that you can bring, you can also with the big intangible wins, you're getting more time with your family, you're getting to
Absolutely.
balance
Yeah,
that work plus life. And
yeah,
so you're getting time to think, to
yeah.
plan, to create. And
Correct.
yeah,
Yes.
and all of that really like, is such an immeasurable amount of
Yeah,
like, return on the
absolutely.
investment of that. So wow, just seeing that is just very powerful. Now, people might think and they hear your story and they're just like, oh, well, everything just went well with Dr. Foley and da. But no, we know with every ups and their downs and their
Absolutely.
challenges. But in the school, we call these lessons. So what would you say were some of
Correct.
the biggest lessons that you learned within the last 12 months within your business?
I would say in the last 12 months, lessons, I think it takes being, again, yes, learning that, there are
Mhm.
no failures, it's wins or lessons. And so
Yes.
turning those lessons into, okay, how can not, oh, this is how can I? So it makes you
Mm.
more creative in problem solving. I would
Mm-hmm.
say it's allowed me to realize that I do have value that I bring to an organization. So there is no burnout
Mm.
factor there. I think it just allows me to know that I keep growing and learning to say yes to things. I mean, before the business school, I didn't really post on social media business
Mm-hmm.
wise. I didn't know what a reel was. I didn't know what a reel from a story from a, I wasn't on TikTok, so
Mm-hmm.
all these things have come. So being willing to learn, staying green, staying teachable, staying coachable, having a
Yeah.
beginner's mindset.
Mm-hmm.
That was so key for me. And that's one of the things that those are among many things, and staying in community. That's something that as a, I'm an entrepreneur, but also can have, introvert, so to speak. So
Yes.
I've learned to, you got to put yourself out there.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do it, sometimes do it nervous and do it
Yeah.
scared,
Yes.
don't overthink it. Don't
Mm-hmm.
done is better than perfect.
Yes.
Yes, all the things that, is reinforced in the school. And so,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and we go for progress, not perfection, all the things.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So for
Oh
me,
my
is really,
goodness. Yes,
yeah.
you're speaking our language there.
Oh yeah, I went deep. There was a lot of deep work that happened in me in the
Mm-hmm.
business school, and I'm just this second year is like I'm ready to unleash because all the limiting beliefs or limiting practices or yeah, all
Mm-hmm.
the things that needed to really to work on me so I can be a better version of me, and it's awesome.
Absolutely. And that's so important that you mentioned that like sometimes people think we're like, well, I'm going to get everything immediately, but a lot
Mm-mm.
of times we are coming in with so many
Hmm.
resistance that we
Yeah,
naturally have built up through
yeah,
years of based on our profession, based on, being in medicine, our
perfectionism,
mindset is
everything.
set in a certain way where
Yeah,
everything has to be perfect. And then you come
correct.
into a community and people are just like, well, just go for
They
it.
don't get it
You're
done. Yeah,
like, but how? So it
yeah,
takes a while when you said that you build yourself up. So, this being part of your lesson, recognizing that, wow, I have to build myself up. I had to build this mindset, this
correct,
understanding that it's okay to try and things don't work out. It's
yeah,
not a reflection on me as a person. It just, the
correct.
event didn't work out, right?
Yes,
And
yes,
then to get over myself and get over the perfectionism that medicine has as it
yeah.
at its core. And then it's interesting because people think that the business school is made up of tons of extroverts. This is a place that's
No,
filled with
it's everybody.
introverts.
Dr. Una, she said she's an introverted introvert. So yeah, I'm definitely, but I've learned to just accept the fact that I'm still growing. I stay green. And yeah,
Yes.
in the operating room as a surgeon, yes, there's a
Mhm.
level of perfectionism, and so that
Yes.
I have, but entrepreneurship, not like that. So I've learned
Mhm.
to switch switch that when I'm building and creating. It's okay not to have it right. It's okay to make a mistake and just get better, 1% better each day. So yeah.
Absolutely. Love it. Love it. Those are great lessons. So those you guys are listening, I'm telling you, you need to write that down because those are some of the powerful lessons that all of us had to
Yeah.
learn within the school. And sometimes it doesn't happen within a week or 2 weeks. It takes
Oh,
like a couple months
oh yeah.
of really
Yes.
hardcore introvert and introspection and really
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
being willing to be vulnerable, being willing to
Correct.
be coachable, as you
Yeah.
mentioned. So like with this, what would you say that the business school did for you to be able to
It,
achieve some of these goals within these last 12 months? Like how were we
yeah,
able to help you?
absolutely. Well, at the business school, the three things I would say,
Mhm.
I would say for the good part of the first year of the business school, I don't think I came on camera. During the
Saw
Wednesday sessions
Dr.
and
Foley.
the Wednesday sessions are great, and I was
Mhm.
probably multitasking through some of that. So, but I've learned to be courageous, and so the
Mhm.
Wednesday sessions are fantastic, where
Mhm.
I not only I got to listen to the other business school students, entrepreneurs, speakers, writers, so many
Mhm.
different types of business models, and listen to how they got through their challenges and how they persevered. And so
Mhm.
even though I was in the background of camera a lot of the times in my first year, I got to see like, oh, okay, everything's okay. They're trying
Mhm.
it and they're okay. And this is okay.
Mhm.
And so I think that was one component of the business school. The other component is the EBS vault. So I'm a learner naturally, and I've
Mhm.
learned that it's not just enough to learn. Then after you've learned enough to take action, right? So
Yes.
yeah, but the EBS vault, we call it, is the
Mhm.
recording. So if I ever had to work late or miss a session, I knew I could go back and reference, and there's just a wealth of information in the vault,
Yes.
previous recordings, trainings, master classes. It is liquid gold. And so that
Yes,
was
absolutely.
for a learner, oh, liquid gold. So that was also good have a reference. And then
Mhm.
lastly, the Facebook group. We have a Facebook group and that's one of my actual goals this
Mhm.
year in the business school is to be more engaged in there. in the
Mm-hmm.
business school, and to give value,
Yeah.
not just go in there for advice, but to give value, to give more than get. And so that's being able to lean on people who've done it before and encourage you. That's something that this year I'm going to lean more into. And I think those are the three things that are just make the business school like it's a wealth of an experience. It's been great.
Absolutely. And a lot of
Priceless.
people,
Priceless is the word I was
it's
looking for.
priceless. A lot of people really, when they hear about the business school and they hear about like the vault, and it's just like, yes, it's just literally every single session
Yeah.
that we've ever had since the beginning
It's awesome.
of the business school, it's all stored there. And one
Yeah.
of the part of the liquid goldness of this process is that some of these doctors that you see that have built the multiple seven-figure businesses, you can
hmm
watch them when they
Yeah.
were
The
at day
evolution.
one
Absolutely.
with,
Like,
okay,
yeah.
I just hit go. I'm just starting my practice. I just finished painting this place. I just looked at the
Yeah.
building that I'm going to, rent, like literally day one.
Literally.
Yeah, and so you get to see that, and you have all of the processes and the challenges, and then
Yeah.
you realize that everyone has a day one, and
hmm
yours isn't any different than the others, and then you can always lean in and you'll get the support. It's
Absolutely.
all there for you. And
It
I,
is
like you said,
good.
like if you're a learner, this is like, woo,
Yeah,
it's
it
like
was good to
liquid
see a
gold.
lot. Yeah, a lot of the entrepreneurs, excuse me, entrepreneurs who then have now gone on to create their own and start their own private practices, which is
Mhm.
so encouraging to me and so inspiring. You see their
Yes,
journey and like, oh wow, okay, the
yes.
evolution, and so it's okay. So yeah, it's okay.
Absolutely. It's
Yeah,
okay. And it's okay if you're
to
taking it
dream.
one
Yeah,
step at a time, because
yeah,
we see people and we see them as who they are right now. We see them
hmm
as if they've
hmm
always been that way. And when
right.
you're in the vault, you'll see, no, they're tears.
Yeah,
They're, how am
yeah,
I going to do
it's
this? And
true.
then there, what's my next step? And
Yeah,
you see all of the behind the scenes of that, what it takes to be an entrepreneur. And
yeah,
then you see how they think, which is one of the parts that
yes,
I think is so important, and that I love the value, because people think differently and they
yeah,
strategize differently. And being
absolutely.
able to have access into some of the brightest minds out there, it's all at your fingertip,
It's
right
awesome.
there.
It's awesome. I think as in medicine, we're so used to a roadmap, and even as an
Mhm.
employee physician, you're used to everything's set up. You just show up and do your work. And
Yes.
entrepreneurship is different. You're creating. You may have to try
Mhm.
things, and you test it. If it doesn't work out, it's no reflection on you personally. It's just it didn't work out. And it's okay. And
Mhm.
so you just go back and you learn from that. And yeah. So it's just been a vast learning experience for me. Matt, you're right. Mindset wise, to
Mhm.
embrace entrepreneurship, embrace this different way of thinking.
Yes, yes, I love it. Alrighty, so there it is. We're talking about this, and we're talking about how the school has helped. We talked about all these wins that you've got, but there's still some people that are like on the fence, and they're
Yeah.
like, that sounds great for you, but I'm not really sure. I don't know. Am I gonna have the same experience? Is this for me? What would you say to that person that's really just kind of like, I'm
Yeah.
not
Oh,
sure.
yeah, absolutely. I remember where I was 2 years ago, and there wasn't anything terribly wrong, but I just knew that there was something more that I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to step out and try. And I think, your dreams are worth it. If you have a vision of the future, a picture of how you want, it's okay to pursue that. And,
Mhm,
I would say believe in yourself. Invest in yourself, invest in your future, invest in your dreams, invest in what you want to create. It's
mhm,
worth it. And
mhm.
being in the business school, I'll say for sure, when I was questioning back then, before being in business school, is there more? Trust me, there is more. And
The answer is yes.
yes, and the EntreMD Business School will help you get there. And
Mhm.
for those doctors who are thinking, and don't think too much, you have enough information at this. There's a certain point where it's time to take action, and so this
Yes.
is the time you take action. The year is going to go by anyway, right? That's something
Mhm.
that I've learned that that Dr. Una coaches. The year is going to go by. So how do we want that in a year from now? Think about where you could be,
Yes.
what you could have accomplished, and the EntreMD Business School will help you get there.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's a great advice. Like the year is going to go by
It's gonna, yeah.
anyway. So you have these
Yeah.
hopes, you have these dreams for yourself. So what are you going to do? You have all of the info, you have the data, you have the podcast, you have the challenges, you have the workshops. It's
You have
all
all the
out there.
information. It's
So
just
you've
taking
been doing
action,
all of this
the research
and
and all the
you're
things.
thinking like, "Oh, okay, well, I'm not sure if it's for you." Like we said that the experience on the inside, like what you're getting in the workshop and as much as value and you're getting wins there, it really is 1/100th of what's actually happening
Yeah,
inside the business school.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
you know that you want more. The year is going to go by anyway. Where do you want to be at the end of
Yeah,
next year? Like,
correct.
how much progress do you want?
Yeah.
What is it that you want for the life that you want to live, for you and your family, for the career, for your future? There are lots of other people who have decided to pull that back into their hands, and
Mm.
that's where we are. We're in the business school doing it, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been a great experience. I'll say, Dr. Beckford, and I'm so blessed to have to be a part of it and to learn from my other EBS students. And I'm still learning. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm still
we
there,
all
and
are.
it's changed who I've become and who I'm becoming. And so I
Mhm.
know that the sky's the limit. The things I'm going to go on to create here, it's definitely going to happen because of the work that I've invested in myself through the business school.
Absolutely. And one quick thing right before we close out this conversation. Like we have invested in ourselves by being in the business school. But here's the thing too, the ripple effect goes way beyond just us. The
Hmm.
family is
Oh
also
yeah, yeah.
benefiting from
Oh,
this.
absolutely.
Like, can you like just speak to
Oh
just a quick
yeah.
few seconds about like how your family has changed secondary to just being part of the school and what you've learned?
Oh yes, definitely. I mean, first of all, just prioritizing my marriage is definitely
Hmm.
key. It's scheduled. It's on the calendar. It's a non-negotiable. It's not one of those things, "Oh, I'm too busy, can't do." No, date nights
Hmm.
is on the calendar. So we talk about so many things in the business school about structuring your week, and date night is on the calendar. So that's
Hmm.
just one of the many non-work related things that are important, as well as
Yes.
time with my kids. That goes on the calendar. So it happens, it's scheduled.
Hmm.
And then yes, I mean my kids, I'm raising teenagers and young adults at this point. I have a college student and I have a student in college. Yeah, so they want to dream, they want to try things, and it's okay. It's okay to try. It's okay. Don't be afraid to try something new. And so the mindset I bring to them is not just, oh, everything has to be right, you have to, and everything has to be laid out. It's okay. So
Hmm.
that's those are the I would say those are things, and family wise, and rest
Sure.
and time together. I think just the balance and knowing that I'm
Hmm.
bringing my best part of me is
Hmm.
also benefiting my family.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think that if when one is joining the business school, that's one of the things that you'll see that's a huge priority. Like, you hear us in the podcast, we talk about the business school, but one of the things that we always talk about is the
Right.
dream business and the dream life
Absolutely.
and doing it
Yeah.
concurrently. And
Yep.
so as much as you learn how to create a
Hmm.
business that works for you to
Hmm.
bring in not just value, but also to bring in revenue and to
Yeah.
really do it in a strategic manner, you
Yeah.
will still also see the benefits on your family. And
Absolutely.
that's one of the
Absolutely.
things. Like we do not negate our family for our business.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
And
not.
so it's so important. Thank you so much, Dr. Foley, for
Thank you.
spending this time with us, really giving someone on the outside just a little bit of a glimpse what it's like being a part of the EntreMD Business School. So for those of you guys who are out there thinking about it, Dr. Foley said it best. He says, you have all the decision. You know what you want to do. Where do you want to be next year or a year from now? Make that decision and just act upon it. The year is going
Yes.
to go by anyway. So we
Correct.
look forward to those of you who have made the decision to come and join us in the school. We look forward and we welcome you in advance. All right.
Look
Thank
forward
you.
to seeing you inside.
Yes, looking forward to seeing you on the inside. Thank you so much, Dr. Foley. And
Thank you,
we'll see
Dr.
you
Beckford.
guys next time on the Inside the EntreMD Business School podcast. I'm Dr. Beckford. Thank you so much for joining us.